Hello, it's week 1 of season 6 of the Andy Griffith Show. This week's episode title is Opie's Job. In these last 3 years of the show, season 6, 7, and 8, Barney is no longer part of the cast, but he and I are going to summarize the episodes for you like we've been doing all along. He does come back in a few shows as a guest star, but not this week. Barney, what's going on in Opie's Job?
Opie is riding his bicycle, and he's trying to impress a girl named Sharon Porter by riding with no hands. But he just crashes into a tree instead, and his pants are torn, and the front wheel and the fender of the bike are ruined. And Opie hopes his pa is in a good mood tonight for when he has to tell him the bad news. Then it turns out that Andy has had a bad day too. He gets mad at Opie for coming home late for supper, and then at the supper table, Opie tells him what happened to the bike. And Andy says, "I've told you to keep your hands on the handlebars." And Aunt Dee says, "Oh, well, we've all forgotten that."
And Andy sends Opie out of the room and then gripes at Aunt Bee for shooting him down when he's trying to make a point to Opie. And she says she won't say another word. And then Opie comes back to the table.
And Andy says it'll probably cost $20 to fix that bike. He says he almost feels like making Opie go out and earn that money. So Opie figures on his own he will go try to earn the $20. And he goes and asks Goulder if he has any work for him, and Goulder says no. And then Opie goes and asks Floyd for a job while his pa is sitting there getting a haircut. And Andy says, "I didn't really mean you had to go get a job." And Opie says, "No, I want to." And Andy thinks he's kind of young to have a job, but he says he guesses it'll be okay for a little while after school. But Floyd doesn't have any work either.
And then Aunt Bee notices a help wanted sign in front of Mr. Doak's grocery store. 75 cents an hour for a boy after school and on Saturdays. She says she'll tell Opie about it.
So Opie goes down there first thing in the morning to apply for the job. But another boy, Billy Crenshaw, is down there for the same job. Mr. Doak says you can both work for a week, and whoever has done the best job at the end of that time can have the job permanently. So they both work really hard in the store and making deliveries around town as fast as they can. And Floyd and Goulder watch them, and they say they think Opie is faster, and they think he's going to win.
And then Opie's late for supper again, but this time Andy's not mad because he knows it's because Opie's working. And Aunt Bee thinks this might be a strain on Opie, and Andy says no. He thinks that Opie's going to win too.
And it turns out that Opie does win. Andy is real proud to tell the news to Floyd and Goulder. But then Opie finds out on Billy's last day that Billy was working for money to help out with his family's bills, because his dad has been sick and hasn't been able to work. And Opie goes and asks Mr. Dokes for the rest of the day off so he can go play in a baseball game. And he gets fired, and Mr. Dokes changes his mind and gives the tournament job to Billy.
And then Andy finds out that Opie got fired after Andy's been acting so proud in front of everybody about Opie getting the job. And Opie tells him there was no baseball game. He was trying to get fired so the job could go to Billy, so Billy could help his family with their financial problems.
And Andy is real proud of Opie again. So the next day, Opie looks for another job, and he finds an ad in the paper for a job that his dad had put in just for him, helping out down at the courthouse.
Well, good. We'll see you next week for episode 2.